sweating in here.
Because my dating pool is, I mean, my
Expansive.
God, impressive, expansive. I've had sex with 35 guys. Okay.
Whew. Oh, Lord. Why would you feel a need that you can be honest to yourself? I know how many men I slept with. That ain't for everybody else. But why did you feel why did you feel that needs to be for public consumption? That's I mean, the crux of this. That's what you mind if I sit to the edge of my seat?
You don't gotta ask for permission. This is your
Why would you feel the need to share that information with the public? Some things are left best unsaid.
That's what I hear.
Yo, what's good? It's Smitty Conversation with another video. How you guys doing today? I'm feeling good. And fellas, you know how that feeling when you got that white line right there. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Right, enjoy.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Awesome, thank you. You feel like $1 million. You got that fresh line. So just got done working out, treated myself to a nice little smoothie, and I wanted to just talk about the topic everybody's been talking about. So Brittany Renner, she dropped the bombshell. I guess she dropped the bombshell. She revealed her body count, which is 35 bodies. And so the internet's going crazy. A lot of men, I see her saying, like, damn, man, you know, that's a lot. Some guys are saying, I thought it would have been way more. And I see a lot of women. Some women are saying, like, you know, that's a lot too. And then I see some women also saying, you know, it's her body, it's her choice. What's the big deal? And so I just kind of want to give my perspective on what I think. First, want to say, you know, I'm actually fond of Brittany Renner. You know, I've been following her. I might be late to her too. I first, you know, heard about her because she was, I guess, alleged to have trapped an NBA player, PJ Washington. He plays for the Hornets. She met him when he was just 18, playing for Kentucky University. Well, University of Kentucky. And, you know, he was a young kid, but she approached him. She was a lot older. And a lot of people felt like that was predatory behavior. I do feel like that was predatory behavior, you know, knowing that he was most likely going to go to the NBA. But I like her approach since. I feel like she's kind of been living her truth. I feel like she's been really honest. The impression she gave me was that, you know, she just kind of was living wild and making some choices. And it kind of, you know, it kind of messed up her reputation. And she seemed like she had a lot of regret. Man, even though she has a past, I believe everybody deserves a chance. She's a beautiful woman. And I was like, I hope she finds someone. But lately, she's been wild. I ain't gonna lie. I saw an interview where she was like twerking on Charleston White and all this stuff, and so I think now she's kind of leaning into the whole tag. She's leaning into it. So I guess the question that I want to know. This is the question I want to know. Do men really care about body count? Like, is body count something that is as a deal breaker for relationships when it comes to men today? The ladies feel like body count is something that shouldn't even be considered. Like, should men even care about body count as long as they're with you? So I want to give my thoughts and I want to give my opinions, and I don't know if this is going to be what people think. I don't know if this is what people are thinking, but this is just my perspective, how my weird brain works. So the question I asked earlier, do men care about body count? I think some do. I think a lot of insecure men really care about body count. I know, like, you know, in the perfect world, you wish you could find you a virgin or a woman that you know, has barely been touched, but that's sometimes is not the reality. You know, these women do have lives, they do have relationships, and things happen, right? And so for me, I used to care about body count when I was younger. Like, I cared about it when I was younger a lot. You know, I cared about how many people, and, you know, I used to ask those questions. As I matured, and I learned how not to ask those questions. One is because I don't want no woman asking me my body count, right? I don't want no woman asking me mine. I don't really care about body count unless you got a sex tape or you're a porn star or something like that. I care more about how you make me look. Let's say you live in Washington, D.C., and you meet a young lady who is beautiful. I'm talking about head to toe, beautiful personality, checks all the boxes for a woman that you want, right? And let's say she lives in a small town in Ohio. She's a hoe in Ohio, a small town in Ohio. She lives in Kenton, Ohio. You never heard of Kenton, Ohio? And she was a hoe there. I mean, she was really a hoe there, right? But you meet her in Washington, D.C., and she's single, she's beautiful, and she's a great person, you're not gonna give a shit about her being a hoe. Why? Because nobody you know that knows her, right? No one's gonna be able to like point out her hoish ways. No one, unless you go to Canton, Ohio, which no one's gonna go there. You're not gonna ever visit there. It's not a place you'll visit. You're not gonna give a shit about her being a hoe. Let's be transparent, fellas. If a girl's a hoe, but you don't know, but no one knows her hoe past. No one around you knows her hoe past. Like, you're not gonna give a shit. I was insecure, and it was a stigma with the type of woman you wanted, right? You wanted a woman who, you know, wasn't sleeping around with everybody. You wanted a woman who wasn't a hoe, all those things. So for me, and this is just me today, for me today, I don't ask about body count. I don't ask about body count. And the reason why I don't ask about body count is because, you know, it can taint the way you feel about a young woman, for me. Right? I know, like, if I'm gonna ask you how many bodies you have, and then I like you, and you know, you're a cool person, you're beautiful, we're having a good time, and then you tell me like, hey, you know, I done had sex with 200 people, that is gonna kind of warp my view on you. So, and I think it's kind of childish. I don't ask about body count today. So I think men care more about proximity, where like you can meet a young lady, she literally only had sex with 4 people in her life. But if 3 of those people are at the same job you work at, to y'all, she's a hoe, and you're not gonna deal with her because that messes up, like, basically kind of like taints her reputation, right? And men do care about how they're perceived when it comes to a woman. A lot of men do. When I first meet a young lady, I show her my crew, I show her the people I'm around, I show her like the places I go, and I say, yo, like, have you dealt with any of these people? That's what I ask. I ask, have you dealt with any of these folks? And then I ask the question, like, is there anything that I need to know? Because, you know, I don't want to be embarrassed. You know, I got colleagues. I care about my reputation. Like, so if there's anything that you need to tell me, like, just put it out on the table so we can deal with it, right? So on the other end, and I want to put this out there too, women, I see a lot of women saying, hey man, her body, her choice, she's single, have fun, do what you want to do. And a lot of women sometimes struggle later on down the road when they look at their choices and their decisions, where they were pretty sloppy about how they gave up their body. Where your body is one of the best gifts you can give to men from God. Your body is one of the best gifts that you can give to men from God. If anyone can get to you, or if there's a bunch of individuals that can say, oh yeah, I had that before, one night stand, oh yeah, I did that, oh yeah, man, you know, she was pretty easy, oh yeah, we did this and that after the club, then what happens is it's a bad representation for whoever your future mate is. And it's not an insecurity thing, even though it is an insecurity thing. But no, at some point, man, like, I don't care how strong a guy is, like, at some point, there's gonna be some form of like, hey man, like, uncomfortability, and some like you're gonna have a guy wondering like, did you sleep with him? And it's just, you don't want your future mate going through that. So I encourage women, like, to be selective with your body count, where at least if you had some experience with sex, you say, yo, this was a guy I was in a relationship with for 4 or 5 years. Hey, this was a guy I used to be engaged with. At least she's in relationships with these guys. It's not just some guy just hitting it and quitting it, and then when you want me to wife it. Men want something that is special. Men want something to call their own, right? Even if it's an illusion, men want to feel special about the choice of their mate. It's just the way it is. Most men are just, I know I'm like that. I want to have good representation with the woman I have. So if I walk into a business meeting and I have my lady with me, I want them to say, hey man, great choice. She carries herself well. If I'm with my homeboys, I want all my boys to give me a pound, right? That matters. What's up, guys? So I'm back. I moved it over to the car. There's a lot of chaos going on outside. It's a beautiful day, so a lot of people are outside. So I wanted to make sure you guys could hear me, and you guys didn't have ambulances and police cars and just random ruckus just going in the background. Ladies, I know it's a lot of women empowerment. I know, like, it's a hot girl summer and all that stuff that's going on, city girls and all that stuff. You know, I know right now that ski is popular, but like, that is entertainment. And maybe entertainers can get away with that. But in your life, in your small world, that will cause you to be single. And that will cause you to not be able to get the man that you deserve. So a good example is Amber Rose. Amber Rose was huge on the slut walk, right? She was huge on just women doing what they want and not giving a F. And when I look at her today, right, I look at her today, she's complaining about how men ain't shit. She's complaining about how men are cheating on her. And she's talking about how she's done with dating. It sounds like to me that her not giving an F attitude when it comes to her body and the choices she makes has affected her with finding a mate. Back to Brittany Renner. It's kind of disheartening to kind of see her, because I feel like she's kind of painted into a wall where now she has to just, I mean, people are going to call her a hoe no matter what she does. So she's painted into like she's kind of pushed into a corner where she has to like ride this whole thing out, and she's leaning into her hold'em, I would say. She's leaning into it. And like, I see a person that's hurt, where I saw an interview where they brought up her baby father, and her baby father seems happy. I looked at the Instagram. He seems happy. He looks like he's in a beautiful place, in a beautiful spot, and he's getting ready to marry this young woman. And guess what? She's the young woman he's marrying. You don't really know much about her, and she's not out there carrying herself in a crazy manner. And so they asked her in this interview about her ex significant other, you know, now being in a relationship, and the fact that he signed a new contract, and that triggered her.
PJ just got an amazing contract. How does that make you feel as a woman, knowing that's your baby father? What is your first view on that?
Whatever that contract looks like, that's what it looks like. And I didn't have a child. You know, I had a second-degree tear. You know what that looks like?
I'm going to say
Hello?
say no. I'm going to say no for all of us.
Is everybody fucking listening?
no.
That's what all these people in the chat can't seem to understand. They think I can be bought. They think that it's just about money. It's just whatever. It's the highest bidder. I did 100 fucking times. Hello?
Hey, listen now, listen.
Listen to what I'm fucking saying. Shut the fuck up when a real bitch is talking.
Wait. He didn't mean it.
Hello?
He didn't mean it.
Oh, shit.
Hello?
She went nuts. You can see the hurt in her face. You can see it. You can see the hurt in her face. Like, I see she's hurting, man. She comes off as a person that's hurting. And it's because of the poor choices she has made in her life. Where I bet you if you was to ask her, even though she may have had fun with some of those white one-night stands and sleeping with them celebrities and them rappers, like if you was to ask her, I bet you she'll trade all that in for a man that's all about her. I don't have to pay. I have a membership. Hey, get a membership. If you got a car, if you care about your car being clean and all that stuff, membership. That's the way to go. And again, ladies, please. I know. You know, we want everything to be equal, and you know, I know there's feminism out there, and you know, and I think women should be treated with equal rights. I do agree with that, but I do encourage women to kind of just look at this as an example. What Brittany Renner is going through. Brittany Renner, she's a beautiful young lady. She is beautiful. She's beautiful. She can articulate herself well. She's smart. She has a degree. I think she has a degree. So you got this beautiful girl who is an athlete, who can articulate herself well, you know, who appears to be intelligent, but is making these poor decisions. And because of this, she's having a hard time finding a significant other. She's having a hard time. And I think she'll find somebody one day. I think she'll find somebody. But I just want women to learn from this aspect of, like, you know, your body is precious. It's truly a vessel and a gift created from God. And any guy that is able to touch your body, it should be a privilege. It should be a privilege. It should be a privilege. And it should be something that a man has to earn. A man should be able to protect, and he should be able to provide before he can procreate. Everybody can't drive a Lamborghini. If everybody could just ride the Lamborghini super easy, like a super easy, you can get a Lamborghini at a buy here, pay here. You can get a Lamborghini on Craigslist, which I'm sure you could, I don't know. But like if a Lamborghini was just so easy to get, then like it wouldn't be a special car. People would sell their souls to try to get into a luxury car. It's worth something. I want you women to treat your bodies like that.